Okay, we see DC in the house, got Jacksonville, Florida. Hi from Houston, Texas. We got North Carolina. We got Georgia, Jonesboro, Georgia. Hello, everybody. Hello. Hope you all are doing well today. Welcome to this special session we're having. I don't see our guest here.
No, they're not in there yet. I just sent them a text message.
Okay, all right. I thought you said that you saw them in there. I want to make sure that they were able to get out. Hello, everybody. Don't forget to put your city and state in the chat. We've got Washington here, Tacoma, Washington, Baltimore, Maryland, Newburgh, New York, Memphis, Tennessee in the house. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Not too late to invite your family and friends. We're giving away a $100 Amazon gift card to the person who brings the most people to the broadcast. They must be here till the end. The broadcast, we promise to end at 7-ish tonight, 7 o'clock tonight, as close to 7 as possible, no matter what, just to make sure that we get your family and friends out on time. We promise to do the drawing at like 6:56. So, but we also want to have an opportunity to answer questions for people, talk about group economics, the 10K project, what we're doing to be a part of or assist with group economics, et cetera. So we've got Springfield, Massachusetts in the house. We've got Newark, New Jersey, Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. Hello, everybody. I'm seeing, I think, some new people in here. So I want to say hello. Would you say, Tawana?
I said, do or die, Bed-Stuy in the house.
So we do want to thank everyone for being here tonight. I am going to start off with just a little bit about what we're going to be doing this evening. It's 6:03, so officially we are going to get started. We are here tonight for the 10K project, and we are the largest community of Black investors who actively fund Black-owned businesses. The idea is if 10,000 of us came together, for example, and we each put $100 into a business, that's $1 million. We can start funding our own businesses instead of asking other people to fund our own businesses, which means that we can finally profit from our own innovation. We can create jobs in the community, and we can work together to build Black wealth. So I am Cherie, one of the co-founders. And this is Tawana, my other co-founder here of the organization. Tawana, why don't you introduce yourself, and then we'll continue on.
Yes, and Cherie, look at the email. Jamsky just sent an email. Hello, everyone. I am Tawana Rivers, the Chief Operating Officer. Cherie is our CEO. And we are so happy you guys have joined us. Thank you to everyone who invited a guest. Thank you to every guest that accepted that offer. We're super excited to share the 10K project mission with you this evening. We've got a lot to talk about. We also have some special guests that we're trying to get in because they have a big announcement that we're so excited to be able to share with you all. And we are ready to, kick this off and really tell you what the 10K project is, to explain to you the benefits of potentially becoming a member, and really talking about the mission that we have to propel us forward on this building of wealth journey that many of us are on. Give Cherie a moment. Our guests are having some trouble with their link. Give us one moment.
Yes, I just resent it.
Okay, and it looks like TL is in the waiting room.
Oh, in the waiting room.
That's what he said.
Okay. I think he's on the wrong link. Can you let him know to, I'm going to email them the link again, that they may have the old link. So we apologize, everybody.
All right.
Okay, so while we are waiting for our special guests to come on, I want to talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing this evening. We're going to start sharing a little bit about ourselves, who we are, how we practice group economics. More importantly, if you want to learn how to profit, potentially, have to say potentially, with regards to how we invest in the stock market like the rich, then you're in the right place. If you want to practice group economics, you're in the right place. If you want to just help other businesses start, grow, and expand, you're in the right place. If you have a service business, you're an attorney, an accountant, a graphic designer, and you want to learn how to get more business for your business, you're in the right place. And if you're an entrepreneur who wants to raise potentially anywhere from $10,000 to $5 million for your business, you're in the right place. Did I
Sounds
say
like you
enough?
guys are in the right place.
Any of those things, you're in the right place. So, what we are is okay, so I guess I'm going to start off just by telling you, yes, I'm sorry, I have an agenda here of what's going to happen tonight. First of all, this is going to be a fun, educational time that Tawana and I are going to share with you. Again, we have a couple of guests coming on as well to talk about some of the things that they're doing and how they're an extension of us and what we're doing. The second thing is we do have games tonight and prizes. So, again, if you invite family or friends to tonight's webinar and they stay through 7 o'clock, around 6:56-ish, we are going to give a $100 Amazon gift card to the person who has the most people here. So a $100 Amazon gift card. Someone's saying I'm in the right place then. Thanks, Darian. Yes, you are in the right place. Number two is we have other prizes that we're going to be giving out this evening. So we need you to put your listening ears on because we're going to say certain things. We're going to educate you about certain things. And then we're going to ask you questions with regards to the things that we educated you on. And if you get the answers correct, then you could win a prize. Okay? All righty then. So I do want to start off a little bit with our story, how we got here, because it is highly relevant. I am a business plan writer. I've been one for over 10 years now. And I help people write their business plans so they can go and get capital. And many of you may not know this, but Black businesses have the hardest time of any other ethnicity getting funding. So I, would write these business plans for other ethnicities and they, come back to me and say, thank you so much, Cherie. I raised $600,000 in one night because of your business plan. Or, we went and talked to this VC and we got $20 million. Thank you so much, right? But people from our community were having a hard time getting funding. And it wasn't because they didn't hustle hard. It wasn't because they weren't trying. It was because they didn't have a lot of the times the networks of people who could stroke a $50,000, $100,000 check, right? So for 3 years, Tawana and I belonged to this group. And I started saying, if 10,000 of us came together and just put in $100 each, that's $1 million. We don't have to ask other people to fund our businesses. We could start funding our own businesses. And one day Tawana says to me, after she says so many times of her getting sick of hearing me say that, because I was like begging someone to take this idea, like, please, somebody do this, right? She says, when are you going to do something about that? And I said, well, there's no way I can do it by myself. So she and 3 other people joined in. We were the initial founding members of the 10K project. And the idea is that we are able to start funding our own businesses. Now, one of the concerns you may have is, how does this work? Is this legal? You may be concerned about some of the behaviors of others, past and things like that. Our people are very scam conscious, things like that. So I do want to say that the way that we do this is governed by the Securities and Exchange Commission and FINRA, the Financial Industry Regulation Authority.
Regulatory authority.
Regulatory authority. So the crowdfunding, or Reg CF, the CF stands for crowdfunding. Equity crowdfunding and debt crowdfunding is governed by the Securities and Exchange Commission and FINRA. And this came through a law called the Jobs Act of 2012. And what it did was it enabled a whole bunch of people to come together in order to invest in small private businesses in exchange for shares or equity or partial ownership of those businesses. So what does that mean? How many of you, put a 1 in the chat if you are familiar with Snoop Dogg and how he invested in Robinhood? Put a 1 in the chat if you're familiar with Snoop Dogg and how he invested in Robinhood. Okay, great. I'm seeing 1s in the chat. So for those of you who aren't familiar, I hope you're familiar with Robinhood. It is a financial app that think 100 and something thousand people use on a daily basis. There's a lot of people who use Robinhood. Well, the interesting thing is in 2014, Snoop Dogg and Nas were approached to be investors in Robinhood. And they got in at 19.54 cents. 19.54 cents. And when Robinhood went public, it ended up the end of the day around $38. Bought at 19.54 cents. At the end of the day that it went IPO, $38. That means if he put in $20,000, he got out 3.4 million. Okay. We're doing the same thing, basically, where we get to invest in these companies early. And if they have an exit, whether it's an acquisition or whether they do an IPO or whether they get so flush with cash that they start distributing money through their net profits, then that is how we as early shareholders get to profit from these businesses. So again, Regulation CF, you are able to check it out on Google, check it out through the SEC, everything we're saying, but Regulation CF, and the CF stands for crowdfunding. So Tawana, I want to toss it over to you to expound on that, please.
Yeah, so the Jobs Act is the law that's in place that allows us to profit potentially the way Snoop Dogg did, right? So for those of us who could be accredited or unaccredited investors, and we'll talk a little bit about what the accreditation means, but it allows us to have an opportunity at the early stages of a business venture to invest and hopefully profit and grow. So we are what we consider ourselves the everyday investors, right? We're not venture capitalists. We're not angel investors. We are everyday investors who get to use our hard-earned money to invest in these early startups. The one thing that the 10K Project does is we only focus on Black founders. So our goal is not only to build wealth for our investors, but it's also to highlight and lift up and celebrate our Black founders, because as Cherie said, when she was sitting in those meetings as a business plan writer, the Black founders were not able to raise that capital the way some of their counterparts of other ethnicities were able to do, right? So we want to help in that regard. So we highlight the Black founder here at the 10K Project, and we invest in them. We'll talk more about the Bet on Black pitches and all of these things that we do, but that's the premise of what we're doing here at the 10K Project. But we do it under the umbrella of equity crowdfunding. So this is legal, all perfectly legal. And for any of you who know anything about the SEC, you don't play with the SEC, and neither do we, right? Not at all. So this is not, Junebug trying to collect all the money he can to open up the, the garage in the back of the house. This ain't that, right? This is something more formalized than that, but it's an opportunity for everyday people like you guys and us to be able to put our hard-earned money. Many of these businesses start out with a minimum of $100 that you're able to invest in them. They have goals that they have to set. Their campaigns are on platforms that are called portals. We'll talk a little bit about that in a bit. But the portal is the, like I like to call it, it's the stage, right? Where the investor and the entrepreneur can come and meet. And so the portal has a lot of regulatory rules that they have to follow that FINRA sets for them. And so again, everything is overseen by these two SEC and FINRA regulatory agencies. And there are hefty fines for anyone, any ones who don't follow those rules. But it allows us to invest early. That's the key, the seat at the table, right? By the time we buy traditional stocks, right? So use the Robinhood example. It opened at the $38 plus, right? So for you and I, who got in early, that's early for us. Early for us was 38 bucks, right? We got in at $38. Woohoo, right? Snoop got in 19 cents. We got in at $38, which still may not be bad because there's somebody a year from now that may get in at $70, right? So it's the key though is most of the time, the earlier you get into a deal, the greater the profit if it is a successful business venture, right? And so that's what we're trying to do here is get in early on these startups and then be able to, through the life cycle of their campaigns and their running of the business, to be able to profit. But this is not a get rich quick scheme, right? So if you came here because you thought it was that, baby, go ahead and log off because this is not the place for you, okay? So what this is this is real life investing. This is 7 to 10 years. Put your patience robe on and sit back and wait patiently for the investment to grow, right? This is not a quick thing, right? Investing takes time. It should only be done with disposable income that you don't have a problem losing. Because while we would love for every one of these investors or these investments to be successful, right? We'd love for every one of these Black founders to become, multi-million and billion-dollar companies. The odds are that will not happen for all of them. And so we want to make sure that you are only investing monies that you can afford to lose or that you can afford to not have for 7 to 10 years, right? There's also that. So you may not lose it, but you still can't have it. You don't have access to it once you invest it, right?
Oh, Ken asked two great questions. One I'm going to answer now. One I'm going to say, hold on to that question because you were headed where we were headed. Okay, so the question we'll answer right now is number 2. Are contributions limited to 10K members or can outsiders, i.e. white people or other ethnicities, also invest? So we do actively have investors from other ethnicities, but we do focus on the Black founder. So yes, people, doesn't matter what ethnicity you are, gender, you have to be, is it 18, Tawana?
Yes.
Yes, you have to be 18 at least to invest. We do have some children that invest through their parents and grandparents,
or if they have an LLC set up.
They have an LLC and they have a family bank in order to do that. But that is the way that you get the family involved if you want to get the family involved. So great question. Ken also asked about if we're going to be offering a portal as part of what we're doing. Hold that question.
Put a pin right there. We'll come back
Hold
to
the question for us. And everybody, I am also on YouTube. So everybody on YouTube, please like the video. Please subscribe to the page. Please feel free to ask questions in the chat because I will see them. I'm also on the Facebook group and the Facebook page. If you have questions, ask there. And if you are here in Zoom, Put your questions in the Q&A for us,
And
please.
Cherie, I want to go back to something. Ken's question made me think of another way to answer his question to get some clarity. So 10K Project is the place, is the community that is being built or has been built that we're trying to grow, that is going to be responsible for bringing the crowd to these various campaigns, right? We're also an education platform. So when you invest in the company, you would be going directly to the SEC and FINRA approved portal that their campaign is on to make your investment. You're not investing here with 10K Project, right? So you're not giving Cherie and I your money for investments. You would actually be putting those through the portal. It goes automatically to an escrow account. So you're not even giving the money to the portal. You're doing it through the portal system, but the money goes immediately in an escrow account and it's held there until that entrepreneur raises at least the minimum amount of monies that they need. Once they meet at least their minimum amount, then those monies are made accessible to them. If they never meet their minimum amount, then you get your money back, right? So at the very least, they have to meet that minimum amount. And so the lowest I've seen is 10,000 as a minimum. And so, it's very careful. When I talk about SEC and FINRA, there's a very careful and methodical process upon how money changes hands, right? So you have to be very clear. These are approved portals where the money goes through their system. It does not go to them, sits in that escrow account. When the campaign raises the money that it's needing, then those monies are released, and there's a process on how those monies are released, how often they can be released. But what I want you to be clear is that 10K does not get the money that you would be using for investment dollars. Now, what 10K is hoping that you guys will do this evening is join our membership. And what membership means is you get access to our educational information, and you get access to the Black founders that we bring to the 10K Project to pitch or present in front of our investor community. We've been doing our what's called Bet on Black pitches since the first Tuesday in March, and we do them every Tuesday evening, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's our time to bring the Black founder of the week in front of the investor community, and we celebrate him and her. Right? We let them talk about their business. We ask them questions. You actually get the FaceTime that, is not something that you would get in traditional investing, right? We can't call up Mark Zuckerberg and say, dude, what's your exit plan, right? We don't get to do that, right? But with the Black founders that we're bringing to 10K, you get to do that. You get to ask any and every question you want. And so what we're offering is an opportunity for you to be a part of this community where that activity is taking place. And because it's Family and Friends Week, we have discounted that membership from the basic gold membership package is normally $100. We've marked that down to $50 for Family and Friends Week. We also have another package that I love. It's the platinum package. It's $347. If you're already a member, it will be discounted for you. But that package comes with 6 months of financial planning. We've partnered with Freeman Capital. They are a Black-owned financial planning company, and they are doing amazing work with many of our members already, getting their financial plan in order, getting their wealth plan in order. And so these are our 2 packages that we have with the gold membership. It's lifetime. It's not a monthly, it is lifetime. Again, $100, but this week, $50, so 50% off. You get the investment webinars, the investor trainings, the expert directory, which allows you as a member to put your specialty or skill in the database. So let's talk about some of these companies. When a company comes to us and they do their presentation, maybe they're looking for an accountant. You're an accountant. They go to the expert directory, and guess what? There's your name. They reach out to you. You have business. Let's say you're a marketer. Same thing. Let's say you're a secretary. Same thing, right? You're a call center representative. Same thing. right? So what we're doing when we talk to these companies is we're saying, hey guys, we're helping you raise this capital. When you start to hire, don't forget about your 10K family, because we've got a community of people who need the work, right? So we're keeping that Black dollar in this community for longer than the 6 hours it currently stays here, right? We're keeping that dollar right here in this community. All right. All right, Cherie.
Okay, so everybody, if you want to learn more about the 10K project, it's the10kproject.com, the10kproject.com. If you look at our navigation bar up here where it says become a member, that is how you are able to see those membership packages and sign up. I want to show you all, the first thing I want to do is in the chat, I would like you to put 3 terms in the chat: investors, entrepreneurs, and experts. Investors, entrepreneurs, and experts. If you put that in the chat for me.
You want them
Investors.
to put which one they are?
No. I want you to write all 3 of them.
Okay,
investors, entrepreneurs, and experts. Thank you so much, Kim. Investors, entrepreneurs, and experts. These are the three groups of people that we bring together under the 10K Project umbrella. I love it. Thank you all. Thank you so much. Investors, entrepreneurs, and experts. So the idea of the 10K Project that Tawana has done an overview for is that we have a community of people who come together every Tuesday at 8 p.m. in order to hear the Bet on Black pitch. Somebody said, is this like Start Engine? I'm going to say no, this is more like Black Shark Tank than Start Engine, because Start Engine is a portal where you have all sorts of companies up there, and you got to rummage through the companies, and you may see an intro video about them, but you can't really you don't really get invited to a presentation, an investor presentation with the founder. Think of it more as the Black Shark Tank, okay? That's the closest we could do, even though we do what we both feel is so much more than that. So investors are the first group of people that we bring together, and you can see how it works by clicking on this button here and seeing how it works as an investor. If you are an entrepreneur, through the SEC regulation, you can raise up to $5 million for your business. So you want to come to the entrepreneur page, select on whichever option is best for you. And then based on what you select, we'll send you some information. We also have a crowdfunding course that is coming out. And if you want free access to that course, we are hosting a focus group. You must be a member. But we're going to host a focus group beginning next month to go through the materials, and you'll get free access to it in exchange for giving us feedback. So the entrepreneurs are the second group of people. The third group of people are our experts. This is inside of our knowledge center. This is when you become a member, you get access to all sorts of content in there: wealth building, replays, all of the Bet on Black pitches that we have done. And you get access to the expert directory. More importantly, you get to add yourself to the expert directory. So let's say you're a graphic designer and you come here, you get to see the graphic designers in our community. And I'm just going to click on Ebony's information here. She gets to advertise through our knowledge center her information here. She gets to tell us everything she does. She also has a little About Me section down here. And if I wanted to connect with her by email, I just click that button, put in a subject, put in a message, and click send. So these are the 3 groups of people that we bring together. And as Tawana said, the idea is a 2021 to 2200, year version of Powernomics by Dr. Claude Anderson. Instead of it being localized as he has done, which we honor Dr. Claude here, what we've done is we brought it to the internet. We've infused the law, the Jobs Act of 2012, and we are here to basically stretch out that 6 hours that the Black dollar stays in the community. So I'm going to answer a couple more questions here, and then I definitely want to bring up our guest here.
Our special guest.
Our special guest. So Kenneth has a great question here asking if we've reached 10,000 members yet. We're at 1,600 members.
Not yet.
But I know we will get there. And we have discovered that the bulk of people that are coming are referrals from family and friends, which is why we're hosting Family and Friend Day today. Darian is saying, as a member, would you all help entrepreneurs put together pitches, business models for their business to ask for funding? So Darian, we can't help you 100%. However, the course I think is going to help you significantly. And part of the course is going to be a business plan that you put together, but it's not the stuffy 30-page business plans. It's a small business plan that you put together. So that will help with your business model portion. Great questions in here. Tawana, were there other questions before we? Were there other questions in the chat that you saw that I might not have?
I don't see any other questions in the chat, but I wanted to expound a little bit on Ken's question. He asked about the 10,000 members. In Cherie's scenario, she was saying to herself, if 10,000 people just gave $100, but that could be $1 million for a founder. We've had, the Bet on Black Pitch founders come and present to us. And last Tuesday, we had a founder come with an amazing, I think I crushed on his idea more than anybody else because it was such an amazing idea. But since last Tuesday, his campaign has raised $40,000 due to 10K, 40 grand. We did that. And we know not all of our members have invested. We know not all of our members have even watched the replay yet. And we were able to do that with just a small amount of people that have watched his campaign video as a result of 10K project. We know that if we can get to that 10,000 members, what we can do. Cherie and I have this, what we call an outrageous goal. And we learned that terminology from another founder, Star Walker Water Company. And he has this wall in the back, and it's called his outrageous goal wall. And when I was talking to him, he said, what's your outrageous goal? So I called Cherie and I was like, what's our outrageous goal? I was like, and so we came up with this outrageous goal that we would love one day to be able to have a founder come to one of our Bet on Black pitches and raise the $5 million, because that's the max, the $5 million in 24 hours. That's what we want to be able to do for these Black founders. Yeah. Right?
And we will do it.
You don't have to go to the bank, forget the VCs. We love them, but you don't have to give up the whole business to get some money, right? Mm-hmm. We can do this ourselves in this community, everyday investors, right? With small dollar investments. So, that is what we're hoping to do. So Ken, Ken, you said you invested in that project also. Yes, so did I. So Ken, that's what we're hoping, growing the membership will mean. That is why we came up with Family and Friends Day, because we know what we have here is something great. The founders come on and they say, oh my God, I'm so glad you found us because I didn't even know you guys existed. And to come and under a week raise 40 grand, I think is a big deal, right? Mm-hmm. And the founder did too, because he called me and he was like, this is a big deal. So, we can just do great things. The more of us that get to, come together and make this happen.
Absolutely. And thank you, Ken, for saying it'll happen next year. We love you. We appreciate you for saying that. Jeffrey is saying it's not if, but when. I absolutely agree with that. I will also say this. If this community wants to really turn some heads economically, Let us do that 5 or 6 times. 5 or 6 times, everyone will be looking at us. And when our Black founders go into some of these high-powered meetings, they'll say, oh, maybe we do need to give them a third or fourth look because we know that the 10K project is out there and we know that these founders have options. And when we were doing our focus groups, and then I'll definitely bring on TL and Jamsky, they've got something great to share with us. When we were doing our focus groups, that was one of the things that came out from the founders, is that the founders said they would go into these meetings and people would say, we've never seen a Black person do that before. We've never seen a Black founder get to $1 billion valuation. And I'm in this industry. They don't want to be pioneers. They don't like to be the first ones to see, to invest in that person and see it happen. Now, fortunately, through Calendly, that was started by a Black man, and that is probably one of the first $1 billion venture-backed companies. We have more founders that are saying, I want to get on the stock exchange to prove that Black entrepreneurs can do this, but it's easier for them to do it. And actually, there was a Morgan Stanley report that said when our businesses are properly funded, we make just as much money as any other ethnically founded business out there. So instead of us saying the everyday person never gets to profit from this, we don't get to profit from Facebook, we don't get to profit from Clubhouse, we keep saying it. The 10K project is a time for us to finally say, now we get to profit from our innovation. So with that, I'm going to bring up TL and Jamsky. They are part of Crowd WallStreet. And Ken's question, are you offering a portal as part of what you are doing, or do you expect that campaign is already established on an existing portal? Well, right now, we expect campaigns to be already established on an existing portal. But TL and Jamsky has some great news for all of you. I'm going to let them introduce themselves and talk a little bit about what they are doing. Hi, gentlemen. And you're on mute too, both of you.
What's going on?
Hello, hello.
We are good. Good to see you guys.
Likewise. It's always a pleasure whenever we get together and speak. For everybody in the audience, we can't see you guys, but we definitely appreciate everybody for, I guess you say, coming out or tuning in, I guess we can say. I'm Jamsky, co-founder of Crowd WallStreet, and my partner, TL.
Thought you were gonna say TL.
Okay,
partner TL. Man, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be in here, man. I'm excited. Just listen to you guys talk. It's just pumping me up right now. So I guess I could go first. Just a little background about myself, and Jamsky could chime in as well. Prior to starting Crowd WallStreet, I did a lot of freelance consulting, working with a lot of small business mom and pop shops. I had started several companies, apparel companies. My career background, I was a correctional officer / detention officer, and I started my own security school where I ran classes, educating people on how to get their security license. And I also was the president of a nonprofit that I founded back in 2008, I think. And so I had my share of starting multiple businesses. And then when I got into business finances and helping these same businesses get access to capital through third-party lenders, part of my job was sourcing deals and looking at bank statements, looking at financial statements. And I realized, hey, these people need help. So that's what really got me into consulting and working with these businesses, because sometimes, what I realized, even with myself as a business owner, sometimes we get so caught up in our business, working in the business, we don't look, to work on the business and know what's going on around us. And so I did that, consulting for about 5 years. And then I wanted to challenge myself more. And I started, getting involved and researching as far as in the private equity space. And pre-COVID, I was inspired to start my own venture capital firm, realizing that there wasn't that many people that look like us that sit behind a desk that owns a VC. Majority of those people are Caucasian males, not even females, just Caucasian males. And there was a big gap in the VC space. So I was inspired to start my own VC. And then in the mix of, getting that going, me and Jamsky ran into each other on LinkedIn. We connected, started a conversation and got on the phone. And our first conversation, we was on a call for maybe 2-3 hours because we had so much in common. He was in the process of starting his own private equity firm for the same exact reason. Now, with COVID, everybody's starting a VC, everybody's starting a fund right now. But prior to that, we was trying to get things going in that nature. But we also realized even starting a VC or a private equity firm can be a challenge as well, because now we still have to convince wealthy people and other people to trust us to manage their money to make the right investments in these startups. And so, that's when we came up with crowdfunding. It was like, wow, crowdfunding can be a gateway into the private equity market. And so fast forward, WallStreet came into the picture. Everybody using Black Wall Street, so it's like we can't use that because they use it for everything now. So it was like we'll just call it WallStreet, and we got the name, stuck with it, created the logo, and fast forward today, we are in the process now of being a funding portal, and literally we like at the finish line, like we right there at the finish line to becoming a funding portal, which probably would be maybe the second or third Black funding portal out of all, what,
I think the
67?
second.
I think
Right.
you're the second that does non-accredited. There
Right.
is one more, but they only do accredited.
Accredited, right.
Oh,
So yeah, so we'll be the second to do it. And the idea behind us really starting the crowdfunding platform, the original idea was say, hey, we want to provide access to capital. But as we continue to do research, continue to get on phone calls with, other VC firms and private equity firms and getting on Zoom calls, we realized that not only we need to provide access to capital, but also resources. So the goal for our platform is really to create strategic partnerships, hence 10K Project, because I feel like collectively, if we all can work together to provide the necessary tools to help provide the ability for our founders to raise capital from their peers, this could be a game changer. And the fact that we're Black owned and we own the platform, I know somebody mentioned Start Engine, and the difference between the two is, yeah, they're a crowdfunding platform, but our money that's invested, they make money off of what we invest as well, but that money is not circulated back into our communities and back into our businesses. So us being a Black owned crowdfunding platform, yes, we will get paid, but guess what? That money is going to circulate right back into our communities and right back into our businesses, our Black businesses. So that's what makes us different from a lot of these platforms that's out there.
We love it. We love it. Go ahead, Jamsky.
Oh, no. I was just smiling. Like
Tell them about yourself, boy. Tell them about yourself.
Oh, so I guess for me, Jamsky, I'm from Miami, by the way. Me and TL, we're from Miami, Miami, Florida, the same area within Miami. Carrot City is now called Miami Gardens. And I've had my hand in business consulting, real estate, lending, lending on repairs and different parts of whatnot, charging points. And so just a lot of consulting type work. But what we started to realize is that when we get into like the tax industry or trucking or whatever, it's 1,000,001 people doing these things. Like, you got to understand it's 1,000,001 people doing the same things. And so the higher up the ladder you go, it's kind of like a triangle effect, right? And the higher up it goes, the less people that look like us we start to see, right? So as you start to search, and then for me, how I got into this space, raising money and the things that sort is because of Reginald F. Lewis. I started reading up on him, and I saw articles and YouTube videos, and I got hooked. What is it? LBO? Oh, he raised money to buy this company. I'm like, what is this language? Like, all I hear about is, oh, get your taxes dead, or I sell this, whatever. But it's like, we want to do business on the highest level. And I have this thing where, that also helped me get on this path, is that regardless of whatever you're doing, the work has to be done, right? So why not spend that work on something that's going to give you the biggest ROI possible, right? So we slaving, right? But then what's the return on that investment versus them? They're like you said earlier, Sheree, they swiping the pin and they getting the check, and then boom, they go IPO in 5 years. You know, Rihanna, you know,
5 to 7 years. Yeah.
you see what I'm saying? So while I have my business for 20 years and this is and that, what do we have to show for it? You know what I'm saying? Can we buy some commercial building? These guys are closing deals that's life-changing. And these are the rooms that we should aspire to be in. These are the rooms that I aspire to be in. And that's why I landed upon private equity, raise the money to acquire assets. TL was in the VC space. I'm in California now, you guys. I'm on the West Coast, Los Angeles, but I'm from Miami. Me and TL didn't know each other in Miami. But because this space is so dim with minorities, me and him connected. Right. So me and him connected on LinkedIn of all places, right? Same city, but we from the same city, but on different parts of the world, West Coast, East Coast, and we met online. And the rest is history. And now the thing that we're embarking on now, we're talking about dealing with the SEC and FINRA. And for those who don't understand the magnitude of this is, when you hear about these fund companies or management companies getting fined $500 million by the SEC, that's what we're embarking on. Like, that's what we're doing. But these are the people that we're registering with and doing background checks, and they're going through our platform. This, and Sheree, you guys, y'all know what time it is as far as what y'all know what we dealing with. Okay. Yep. So for those who don't understand, I'm sure you guys have spoke on it. So that's how we end up embarking on this journey. And then because the space is so scarce with minority talent, we came into existence with the 10K project. And now we're putting our forces together. Right. So no more of the days of, I want to get this done. Let's go to the bank. And they're hitting us across the head with these interest prices. Get your start an LLC and get business credit without using your personal guarantee and all that stuff like that. These, I don't want to say white folks, but our Caucasian counterparts, they're not really doing that. These people are raising money. Right. So the 10K project has cultivated some people that we can raise this capital together. So with us embarking on this journey and beating them, we're trying to corner the market where we don't have to go to these people for nothing. Everything is in-house. Okay. That's and this is the purpose of this call. Everything is in-house. There's no reason for us to go anywhere else. We're some of the biggest spenders in the economy. However, we own nothing. We got to change that. And this is us doing that. So it's one thing to talk about group economics, but now we're showing you guys that we're practicing it right now in this time and moment. So it's no excuses. We got over almost 100 people on here. So when you guys hear this message and what we're talking about, you make sure to share this to at least 10 people. At least 10 people. Share this message. Get this word out. You know, you got Crowd WallStreet and 10K Project. Okay, we don't have a platform. We got it. We don't have the people. We got it. And we putting these together. There's no exceptions, you guys. So that's a little bit about me and TL. And I guess we can kind of get into Crowd WallStreet.
I want to piggyback off of a couple of things. So number one, we have over 100 people when you count everybody on Facebook, YouTube, and Facebook and YouTube. We've got about 125 right now. So thanks to everybody watching there. The other thing is, some of you have been with us since either day one or close to day one. One of the issues that we had within the 10K project was, if we were to be a portal, we would not be able to educate our people on equity crowdfunding, on crowdfunding at all. We would not be able to go to, Greater Bethlehem AME Church and stand up and say, this is what crowdfunding is. Y'all know how our people are. Like people need to be educated on this process and how it works.
More than just FAQs. We need some hand holding. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So the reason why us working together with Crowd WallStreet and them working with us is so important is because we can pick up where they legally cannot go, and they can pick up where we legally cannot go. That's number one. Number two, in our focus groups, the entrepreneurs really did express that it was hard for them to get on these other portals. It was very hard. That does not mean that Crowd WallStreet is going to let every entrepreneur on just because you're Black.
Right.
You still
excellence is still required. Excellence is still required.
Excellence is still required. However, TL and Jamsky are real everyday people. Tawan and I really, really do believe that. And they are going to do what they can with regards to resources to help you. And what we're doing collectively is, again, they when we initially met them, they said, you all are creating these resources for these entrepreneurs and these investors. Thank goodness we don't have to do all of this. So now all of a sudden, you've got these two companies that are coming together, and we'll be able to do so much more because we're coming together. So we are very much waiting for them to get their final check mark from FINRA. That's the long process. But, Tawana has been working with them closely. I won't say, well, can I say closely?
Yeah.
Closely in order to,
Yes.
because we had gotten through a lot of the FINRA process. So she's kind of been prepping them on certain things with regards to what we were going through.
And I'll just, before you read the next question, Cherie, I just want to say these guys are awesome. They really are. Cherie kind of touched on it. 10K Project kind of went through that process of FINRA and SEC before we decided the people needed something different from us. Mm-hmm. The people weren't ready yet to do equity crowdfunding because they didn't know what it was. We've got to educate them. So we made a business decision. Let's educate the people. Let's focus on the hand holding, and we'll have to, leave the portal for another day, right? Now, mm-hmm. Interstage left Jamsky and TL, and they're taking that baton and they're going to run with it. I just want you to know you are in good hands with these two men. Good hands. The quality and their integrity, I am so impressed by. And I'm an HR person. I've seen it all, right? I've seen all kind of personalities. I've seen all kind of BS, right? And I'm a New Yorker who's an HR person. So not a whole lot get past me, right? So I just want to say these guys are hardworking. The connections they've made in a fraction of the time that they've been working on this is amazing. It's a true testament to what I believe is going to be a phenomenal portal and a phenomenal business model for them. They are the real deal. And so I'm honored that 10K Project can work so closely with these young men. And I just love how fate works its way into everything. Both mm-hmm. from the same place, didn't know each other, met online, whole lot of similarities. And here they are getting ready to run what I believe is going to be a multi-million, billion-dollar company one day, right? Very similar to how Cherie and I met, right? We were part of a blockchain cryptocurrency group in 2017. We met. Here we are running a business together. It's just a testament to widen your circle, right? It doesn't have to be the best friend from middle school, right? It can be someone who is like-minded with good business sense. Believe in yourself. We are on this screen, a true testament of strangers who met each other with a very clear and similar focus on what we wanted our futures to be. And we're making that happen and living these dreams. And we're doing it with our people and our community in mind, right? We're not doing it selfishly. We're doing it for the people. And so, for those of you out there who are entrepreneurs and you have that idea written on a napkin, buy a notebook, right? Take that idea, take it off the napkin, put it in a notebook, flush it out. For those of you who have a family member that had an idea, but he don't never follow through with nothing. So you listen to his idea and you just shoved him to the side, call him. Call him and encourage him. Call him and tell him you got his back. If he can flush out that idea, some people you can introduce him to, right? You heard about this thing called equity crowdfunding, and people who can educate him on it. If you're someone who've always wanted to invest, but you didn't know where to start, you didn't know about Robinhood, you didn't know about TD Ameritrade, you don't know anything about all of that, but you got a little extra money sitting in the bank, and you wanted to grow more than that measly bank percentage we get on our money, right? You're in the right place at the 10K Project to help you learn a new way to start building wealth, right? We're doing so much more than just what we're talking about here, even with the equity crowdfunding. From an investor standpoint, we've got webinars where we're teaching people. We had a woman come on for the second time last week, teaching us how to buy hotels and invest in hotels. Black woman, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. We've had people come and teach us how to buy businesses. Out the box businesses. You get the keys. The business got staff. It's got processes. It's got customers. You got the keys. You getting a check on Friday. You don't even know the code to the alarm system yet. But that's how out the box these businesses are. You can buy them. Who knew that?
And we had someone else come on to teach us how to get them funded with SBA money.
I mean,
Yes.
so that's the kind of stuff we're teaching you here. We didn't go through all of that earlier because, we only got a little bit of time. But if you join us and become a member, then you can go back, and Cherie showed you that knowledge center. All of those things are in there. When you become a member on day one, you get access to everything we've talked about for the last year and a half.
Yeah. So I do want to, again, introduce you to the 10K Project, how to become a member. So here we're at the10kproject.com. You click on become a member. Please read through the website. We want you to know, more about us, what you're signing up for. We have additional testimonials besides these on our YouTube page. So you're able to see those, but you're able to also see the testimonials here. But if you come to become a member, you come to the bottom of the page. Tawana, I'm going to have you go through just one more time really quickly, the gold membership and the platinum membership for people, please.
Will do. And the testimonials are both testimonials from founders that have raised with us, as well as members in the community. So you kind of get to see it from both ends. The gold package, lifetime membership. We will never ask you to pay for a membership with the gold package again. Today through Friday, right? That's Friday, 11:59. Don't be sending no IM on Saturday morning talking about I missed the deadline, right? Friday, 11:59, 50% off. So instead of $100 lifetime, it's $50 lifetime. Now, we all know $100 was affordable enough, but $50, very, very affordable, right? You get access to all of the previous investment webinars, all of the future investment webinars. You get access to all of the training. You get to put your information in the expert directory in addition to retrieving information from the expert directory, right? You have exclusive access to any member-only webinars that we do. And we do that sometimes. Sometimes we open it up to the public, but then oftentimes we just have member-only sessions, right? You get access to any of the masterminds that we have. If you are needing something a little more than that, and you're needing that personalized wealth plan, and you want to talk to a financial advisor, that's $347. All right. One-time fee, $347, gets you 6 months. So it gets you everything that you get with the gold package, and then 6 months of financial planning. Right. And we're going to have some testimonials about that as well. We're going to reach out to some of the members who have purchased that platinum package and have already going through their process with Freeman Capital. And we're going to get some testimonials about that. Wonderful. We have one testimony already in our Facebook group, Talisha Shine, who is one of the co-founders of the 10K Project. She posted her experience with Freeman Capital, and she also talked a little bit about the fact that when she got a quote prior to us coming up with this package, for the same services that she's getting, she got a quote of $4,000 from a financial planner to do some of the same stuff that Freeman Capital has agreed to do with us for $347, right? So well worth it to consider that if you need any kind of financial plan.
So we promised that we would do
It's
the
prize time.
prizes now, and I see a whole bunch of questions in the chat and in the Q&A. Tawana and I pledge to be here to answer all of your questions, so just stick around, but we do want to make sure that we honor the Amazon gift card, and we have 2 prizes we're giving out, so hope you had your listening ears on. Okay, you must be in Zoom. You must be in Zoom in order for this to be counted. For the Amazon gift card, we said that the person who brought the most people that stayed till the end, which is 7 o'clock, you would get a $100 Amazon gift card. So do me a favor, in the chat, put the first name and the last name of the person who invited you. Put the first name and the last name of the person who invited you. And Tawana, I'm going to have you check on that as we are going through here. So again, put the first name and the last name of the person who invited you today. We're going to give Tawana a chance to get that, pull that together. If you want to be a member, again, the10kproject.com, you're able to go to our website, see all the information, $50 for the gold package, $347 for the platinum package. Either package that you get, you can't beat it. You can't beat it at all. So I'm also going to ask the first question. Well, no, actually, I don't want to commingle the chat here. I'm going to go back to TL and Jamsky a little bit. So,
and you've got another question in the Q&A.
We have a ton of questions in here, but I don't want to commingle and get you mixed up. Or do you want me to answer questions now, or you want me to go back?
Yeah, I would say answer it. Yeah, go answer it, and then we can do our.
Okay, and then you all can chime in too if it's not a 10K question specifically. So the question here is, what fees do the founders pay the 10K project when pitching to the members? Right now, the fee is $500. That is always subject to change. But right now, and we feel $500 is reasonable. And Tawana, every week we get together and have a meeting, and every week meticulously she checks to make sure that there is a return on investment for the founders. And every week she tells me that the founders have gotten their return on investment. And most of the time it's multiplied. So, so yes, we are not here to take advantage of people, neither Tawana or I. We are here to make sure that everyone wins. You win as investors, as entrepreneurs, and as specialists.
But in full disclosure,
experts.
As membership grows, and as maybe we add a pitch day, that fee will go up, right? Because we're startup too, right? So obviously startup, sometimes your prices are a little lower. Once you become a proven model and your success speaks for yourself, then your price tag and your worth goes up. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it will always be $500, because it will not be. There will be a time where people will be calling us. Right now, I spend a lot of hours looking for businesses, vetting them. There will be a day where I can just answer the phone, right? And people will be
actually starting to happen a little bit.
It has started a little bit.
Because Tawana actually is getting emails from platforms saying, we have a Black founder, we found out about you all, or they had another successful campaign because of the 10K project. So they come back to us and say, we have another founder, would you please let them come on? So we're already getting approached. Let us raise a few $5 million for people, y'all. It's going to be game over. I'm telling you. Yeah. So Ken Granderson is asking, will a recording of this session be available? Yes. The best place for you to check is our YouTube page. It's always the easiest place to find recordings, but they're also in Facebook as well. And I will probably send the replay out I'll probably send it out tonight. That way you can send it to family and friends that you want to send it to and have them listen to this. So I saw another question in the chat as well, and I wanted to make sure. Oh, Kiana asked, what does a personalized wealth plan look like? So that's a great question. Freeman Capital is a Black-owned company that does the personalized wealth plan. So they, we did a recap of their session that they did with us probably about 6 months ago now. They look at financial behaviors, activities. They really do a broad picture of looking at everything within your financials with regards to the vision that you have for your life. What kind of legacy do you want to leave your kids, grandkids, great grandkids? What kind of like where you are today versus where you need to be. So do you need to focus on having money in order to invest in your own business, or getting another degree, or like what is it that you're trying to achieve? And then what's holding you back? Is it a credit issue? Is it that you're not making enough money? You know, is it that you're making good money, but you don't invest enough, or your investments are not diversified, et cetera? So, Kiana, that was a great question. I'm also going to then send out, because of your question, I'm going to send out the replay of Calvin Williams so that you can hear from him how he describes their process and what they do. It really is extraordinary. Um, Shannon is asking, can you upgrade to the platinum package later on? The answer is yes. So you can start off with the gold, and then once you become a member within the Knowledge Center, that's where all the Bet on Black pitches are held, and all of our internal webinars and things like that that are on replay. There's a button that you can press to say upgrade, and you're able to upgrade that way. So yes. Now, Tawana, do we have our member for most people?
I think we've got a clear winner.
Okay.
I think David Ballard would be with Black Wealth Renaissance.
Fantastic.
That's
Thank
the
you,
most.
David.
Yep.
Thank
you,
you,
David.
I'll be on the phone with him in the next couple of days, so I will let him know, because I don't know if he's here tonight, but we love David. We love BWR. Let's see here. Another question by RJ. What are TL and Jamsky's names so that we can connect on LinkedIn? Okay, so they want full names from you guys.
And that's classified information.
Government names, so they can vet you.
Man.
Mine is Tavares, T-A-V as in Victor, A-R-I-S, the letter L dot Williams, across all social media platforms. LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Google. It's all there. You on mute, Jam.
Yeah, for me, Jamsky French, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, is on everything. Jamsky French. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Another question here. Chris is asking, can you guys go over again about this being a long-term plan, not an instant lottery? You have spoken to work. Chris, you know what? We should invite you up here sometime to talk about that as well. But
yeah,
yes.
I mean, we can definitely go over it again, but I think I made it clear. This ain't Pookie. Pookie don't live here. So this is a real business.
You guys, I think so a lot of times too, when we talk about the minority community, right? And some of the things that it's the whole get rich mindset. The shoe things. Me and TL talk about this all the time. Where
the blessing circle.
Yeah, the blessing circle, or the shoe circle, all that stuff. And it's like, when it comes to things like that, those things circulate on social media so fast. I mean, you have people in your own family that ask you about it. And it's like, well, if we can get this, things like this to circulate just as fast as that, the 10K project would be 100,000, or the million day project, you know what I'm saying, the million project, whatever, because those short-term, quick, flip of a dime things get around so quick. But when we talking about the big deals, like we shared Nas invested in what was it, Acorn, or what was it that Nas invested in back in the day? Robinhood. And then he just cashed out, and we're sharing this, but nobody minded to think, how does this work? Jay-Z bought Ace of Spades, and then for 30 mil, and then turned around and sold 50% for 300 mil. How does this work? Right? So as opposed to, I'm gonna sign 2 people up on a shoe or the family circle, and then you bring 2 people, we gravitate to that. But then we wonder why we're the way we are, and why we don't own anything, as opposed to, how can we get in these rooms? How can we network with these people? How can we put our funds together to acquire companies? You know what I'm saying? To better educate ourselves. So one of the things that me and TL pride ourselves with, our motto for our company is to lead with transparency and with education, because we understand that with our people, we have to educate. Venture capital, private equity, hedge fund, raising capital, crowdfunding is something that is not talked about in our communities. And I'm not talking about crowdfunding in the sense of GoFundMe. I don't want to just crowdfund when grandma died or we got to do a cookout, right? If we crowdfund for our businesses will be able to fund these activities. And we won't have to go to the community to raise money to bury somebody because our businesses are doing so well. We're supporting each other. We're raising capital with each other that now we have money that we can infuse into each other when things like this happen. Hey, look, I need $50,000. But because all these businesses are flourishing around us, we're able to put this money together for greater causes and not just for a shoo-shoo thing or whatnot, right? So we're leveraging each other and we're leveraging group economics at the true extent of group economics, not just saying it and using it because it sounds good, but because we're really out here practicing those terms that we always talk about, each one teach one. But if you learn something new, you got to teach somebody because you knowing and not teaching somebody and somebody not knowing, you're worse than them. Somebody that don't know because you knew something and you didn't pass that along. This is what we're doing within this community with WallStreet and the 10K project. How can we raise money to scale and grow our companies and get out of that solopreneurship, that technician? I do hair, but it's only so many heads you can do in a day, and build companies that can be scaled and grown and then maybe sold off later. Whether you sell a fraction of it or sell the whole company, this is how we want people to think now. Okay, I got a model of 100K a day. Well, how are you going to get 100K a day? Well, automatically to get to $100,000 a day, anything that's small and minute is already erased. So your mind is automatically thinking on the larger scale. And even if I fail, I got 30 days out of the month to reach 100K. So if I just did 100K for the month, you did better than 90% of other businesses. You see what I'm saying? You got
99% of the other
days out the
businesses.
year to get $100,000. Right. Yeah. So that's my model. I'm sorry. Yeah. I get excited about financial.
No, we love
exactly.
it.
This is what we need. This is what people need to hear.
Oh, they love it. Yeah. So
and finally, the law is on our side, right?
There we go.
Because
go.
You say whatever you want about Obama, and in this community, sometimes it's split. But the one thing he did is he looked out for us with that Jobs Act because it allowed us to be in the room now with permission, right?
There we go.
Not just because we were the servants in the room and we happened to hear something they were talking about.
Eavesdropping, right.
We actually we got a ticket to the room now.
Yeah. Yep. So the next time,
and I think that's where we that's where we take these laws that we don't participate in and actually maximize them. You know, one of the other laws I've been talking about is the tax law with kids. You can open up an LLC, a family bank, or a business, pay your kids $12,500 a year. Stop paying your kids allowance. Give them a job in the family company. Number one, they get money that way. Number two, they learn work ethic. Number three, they put that on their LinkedIn page so that when they go to college and they get, you know, a real internship, even though working for you should be a real job, right? Yeah. You know, they can already say, oh yeah, I've been working for the past 4 years. You think that's not what Barron Trump is doing? Hello? You think that's not what Chelsea Clinton was doing? I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat. I personally don't fool with either of them. But, you know, but this is like, we're not leveraging the things that are on the books. So I want to, though, give away at least one of our prizes right now, preferably two. Let's just both.
Give them away.
Okay.
Give prizes away.
Okay, so we ask you to have your listening ears on. These are for people who are non-members, or if you just became a member tonight. Okay. Question number one. We talked about Regulation CF. What does CF stand for? Again, if you just became a member today, Alicia was past. Alicia must have looked at my.
Hey, she already had it written in. Just waiting to pick up.
Right.
I think they know Alicia. I don't know. I think I know Alicia. That was too quick. Now, look, everybody asked this question. Oh no,
but Mike, she was quick.
That was quick. That was quick. Yeah.
All she had to do is hit enter.
She said, "I swear I did not." I was like, "Did I make show my screen?"
You even think you finished the sentence?
Alicia, you email me info@the10kproject.com. You get a free gold membership. Gold membership. Okay. Nice. The second question for another gold membership. We bring 3 groups of people together at the 10K Project. Who are the 3 groups of people? We bring 3 groups of people together at the 10K Project. Who are Jan? Oh, y'all are fast typers. Janet. All right, info@b10kproject.com. Janet, I see all of the answers here. I am so proud of all of you for answering those questions. Y'all were listening tonight. Somebody is asking for TL and Jamsky, when will the Crowd Wall Street portal be activated?
That's the SEC. Yeah, FINRA.
Let me call the SEC right now.
Yeah. So you guys, we've been approved, like, what FINRA approved this right now is really the SEC right now, Tia?
Yeah, so the whole thing right now, like I said, we really at the finish line. We just waiting to do this. Literally. So right now, when we spoke to them, I think about 2 weeks ago, they have been really helpful. And we have 2 Black brothers working with us. So he told me himself that he's gonna try his hardest to get us approved as fast as possible. So we're looking at either by the end of this month, no later than October. So that's what we're looking at right now. Like everything as far as the infrastructure, the platform, everything is pretty much good to go. It's just, FINRA doing their thing, making sure, like I think Cherie said it in the beginning of this Zoom call, the biggest thing is making sure that we are in compliance and that we ain't running no rinky-dink platform, because honestly, for those who are investors on here, their whole objective is protecting you guys, which is what took so long for the Jobs Act to even come in fruition. Because I seen somebody, I think I forgot her name, Kent or something like that, mentioned earlier that we were unaware of the Jobs Act, and it's true, because prior to the Jobs Act, many of us was unaware about the private equity space. Only thing we knew about is buying stocks. We didn't know anything about private equity, venture capital, raising capital. For us, we just knew about starting a business, using our credit cards, or trying to get a bank loan, or trying to get grants. We didn't know anything in the nature of raising capital. And so I remember Jamsky about a couple weeks ago, he made a post about Rihanna, and he was saying how Rihanna set the blueprint. But a lot of that post went over people's head, because even on this call we talked about Jay-Z, we talked about Nas, and many people was like, "Oh, we're not celebrities. We're not celebrities." The whole point was what they did, even as celebrities with money. One thing we can agree that they did do is create strategic partnerships. And this is right now on this call, this is what we're doing. We're creating strategic partnerships, providing resources for investors and entrepreneurs to have opportunities like the Jay-Z's and like the Nas. So you don't have to have $2 million, $30 million in the bank to participate in a private equity opportunity. Just like Tawana said, with a little as $100, you can participate. It could be a group of you guys can start your own small fund. When you look at Harlem Capital, if many of you guys are familiar with Harlem Capital, when they first started off, it was a group of them put together money, $2,000. They literally put together $2,000 with the intention of, hey, we might lose all the money. However, we're going to gain the experience. We're going to build our resume. And they took that $2,000 and invested in small businesses.
In our Knowledge Center, we have done a whole series on creating what we call a Black bank, a family bank. It essentially is an investment club where you also have the ability to loan money, right? So again, there's a lot of information in our Knowledge Center. One of the benefits of you being a 10K member, but we give you the whole blueprint. A family that did it, they gave us all the ins and outs. We've created documents to get you started. I mean, literally, we've created this package where if you look through the material, you can get 5, 10 of your family and friends together and start your own family bank. You start investing together, buying the businesses that we talked about together, and growing wealth. The blueprint is the same. And I love that you said that. You don't think about Rihanna as a billionaire. Think about the strategy that she put in place, right? Think about that.
Yeah.
And I want to, Ronald in YouTube asked the question, what is the Jobs Act? So I responded in YouTube, but I just want to make sure everyone knows the Jobs Act of 2012 is what enables us to do what we're doing today. So before the Jobs Act, if you wanted to invest in a Facebook, for example, or Uber, you had to be something called an accredited investor, which means you had to be rich, right? You had to make over, right now, the line is 200,000 if you're single, 300,000 if you're married, or worth $1 million, not including your primary residence. So basically you have to have money, right? The Jobs Act of 2012 broke that down. It said, no, no, no. If a company goes through this process called Regulation CF, which again, CF stands for crowdfunding, then everyday people, as many everyday people as want to invest in that business, can invest in that business in exchange for shares in that business. Okay, so that is what the Jobs Act of 2012 did. And right now, an entrepreneur can raise anywhere from $10,000 to $5 million. That $5 million in March was 1,070,000. So
big jump.
people have been lobbying since 2016 to even raise it to 5 million. If you think it's going to be 5 million forever, think again. They are going to raise it again. This is the new way. I'm gonna get to you, Jamsky. I see your hand there. This is the new way that not only our businesses can get funded, but all ethnicities are talking about this and doing this now. So, Jamsky, I'll let you.
Wait, before Jamsky go real quick, I don't know if you guys showed this in your group. Can I share something real quick on my screen?
Absolutely.
Just to paint a picture so they can get an idea. Can you guys see that?
Uh-huh.
This is like a prime example of what we've shown before to individuals. As you can see, public market, this is where stocks are being brought at. So in the beginning stages, you can see what companies go through this journey of raising capital. And what we have to understand is at this point is when we buy stocks. So you can see going public is like the last stage of capital raising, right? And even when a company goes public, they actually raising capital. But what we have to understand as well is at this stage, when we're buying stocks, we're paying out these people. The angels, the friends and family, the VCs, the private equity. When we buy stock, we buying out these people. These people are making millions of dollars. So what crowdfunding is doing is giving us the opportunity to be at this level where we can invest in early stage startups around this time. So when these companies go public, now those individuals who hasn't invested in crowdfunding will be buying us out now. Now we'll be making the big bucks because we invested in the earlier stages. And I just wanted to share that with you guys.
Yeah. And just to kind of I'm in agreement with Cherie when we're talking about the president and the the blue and red. I try not to get too caught up in that, because the one thing that we've seen since the beginning of time is those who's making enough money, the business owners, for some reason, they always seem to flourish no matter who's the president for whatever reason, right? But another thing is when people say, oh no, Obama didn't do anything, but you didn't know something like the Jobs Act, oh, he didn't do it. This is major, because think about it, if you was one of those people who invested that $10,000 into Facebook when he was in the dorm, right? The friends and family round, right? All those guys are, multi billionaires. So what he did, even if it was just that, just think about the nature of that. Somebody who has connections in the VC world, but they start off with regulation CF and then work their way up to these guys who's professionals, who got connections and that have money to flood into this business and scale it to a multi-billion-dollar company. This thing has been done in 5 and 6 year time frames. This is crazy. And you own a small percentage of that. Even if you don't become a billionaire, multi-billionaire, you're going to be worth a couple of $100 million at the least. So I just want people to hear these numbers and not be afraid of them. I don't hear how people talking about these kind of numbers, billionaire, 100 millionaire, but somebody like Rihanna, 33 years old, a billionaire and some change. Like that's the new swag now, right? That's like the new thing, that's the new trend, becoming a billionaire.
And let's just keep it real.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's say you invest $100 in one of these campaigns.
Yeah.
and they get some kind of exit deal and you only end up with 20 grand. Then you take that
Where else
20,
you going?
you flip that and do something else with that 20.
Yeah.
So you sound sometimes we get in our own way. When you start thinking million, I may not be yet ready to receive that I can be a millionaire, right? Because we got some psyche stuff we gotta get
past. Yeah.
Right, we gotta get past. But so let's just take it down to a lower level.
Yeah.
What about a 20,000aire? Right?
Man, listen.
You know how that could change a life.
Right.
That can open up another level of investment opportunity, right? You could buy a couple of properties with 20 grand.
Yeah.
Get some cash flow off that. It's a whole lot of stuff you can do. Tax lien, tax mortgage. We got a whole list in the 10K library on what you can do with 20 grand.
With no work behind it.
Yeah.
Listen.
All you're doing is investing $100 and just getting on your computer or your phone like you normally do, and then cashing out in the next 5 to 7 to 10 years. 20 grand without no hard labor at all.
Now, I do want to
when
say
you talk
one
about
thing.
wealth, that's wealth.
I do want to say one thing. It is important for you to build a portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
If you believe that you're going to come into the 10K project and invest in one business, and that one business is going to be the $20,000 business, the chances of that happening are very unlikely.
Give your example, Cherie. I love that example. You said the angel investor told you about the 10 companies and how many succeed and how many don't.
Yes. So I knew an angel investor many years ago, and this is a common thing amongst all angel investors. The way that it works is she invested in 10 companies. She always believed that all 10 of the companies would do well. But what happens is 6 of them will fail, 3 of them will give her money back, and that's it. And then 1 will be super successful. So, a unicorn is $1 billion company, $100 million company, whatever. So we need to think the same way. Also, that was proven to me. I went to Angel University, a guy that took $1 million and turned it into 100 million. His name is Jason Calacanis. We talked through his lessons from Angel University. He basically said the same thing. He said that 25 investments is your minimum, excuse me, is your minimum to be a real angel investor. Now, one of the things within the 10K project is it was suggested to us to charge an annual fee. And we're like, no, we'd rather you have the money so that you're able to invest in these businesses. You don't have to invest in all 25 in year 1. You can spread it out over 3 years. You can please come to the pitches every week if you can, but you can spread that out. But he said the real money starts when you have a portfolio of 100. And we brought somebody on already, Brian Belay, who has invested in 150 businesses. However, we have a Black gentleman that Tawana has introduced me to, who is coming on. I don't remember what date. He has done over 100 deals as well. So we are getting the knowledge wherever we can get it in order to bring it to you so that you can be a more well-educated angel investor. So yeah, so Janice saying cheers to Vanessa Braxton and Black Mama T. Also, Robin here is talking about Dawn Dixon, who crowdfunded $1 million as well.
Actually, I think Dawn is on her 3rd successful round of $1 million. Yeah.
Yeah, we happen to know both of them. So Arlen Hamilton, I had a chance to meet her as well. She wouldn't necessarily know me, but Dawn and Vanessa know both of us. So yeah, look, but what Tia
I'm an investor in Backstage, so.
Yeah, I'm an investor in Backstage and in Black Mama and in Popcom. So just, full disclosure for me. But when you start being an angel investor like we are and like you hopefully will be, there ain't that many of us there. So you get to know, everybody. So
we're going to change that. We're going to change that.
We are going to change that.
We're going to help so many Black founders get to that 1 million and beyond mark, that there are going to be too many names for us to know. We're going to be like, you know, that one Black man that does that one thing with that one industry, like it's going to be so many of them.
You scratch your head like this.
Yeah, like, wait, what are you talking about? Because there's like 20 of them doing that, you know? That's what we want. We want to be normalized, right? Like everybody else.
Yeah, definitely.
So, TL, I'm going to give you some final words.
I'm gonna let Jansky take the flow.
Oh, Jamsky?
Oh Lord. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Nah, man, the final words is
Final words. Oh,
from
I don't have any
WallStreet.
final words.
Final words.
Just pretty much, you guys, we just want to elevate the way we see finance, the way we see funding, the way we practice group economics. We definitely just want to just reach a higher level of how we see things, how we visualize life, the things that we are capable of doing when we work together, understanding that it's no limits. The education is there. So the days of we didn't know, my parents didn't teach us, the schools didn't teach us, those days are over because social media has made it to where this information is readily, at your expense. It's like it's no excuses. And then what Sharia Tawana doing, you can't, it's like it's no excuses. And now we have the platforms right here. You're talking to the founders of these platforms where Start Engine and these other companies, you would never get a chance to meet the founders. Never.
Mhm.
This is not happening. You see what I'm saying? So, and then nothing too, when you come on our platforms, treat our platforms the same way anybody else would treat. When you go on Start Engine, right? Hold us to the same accountability, and don't give us any harsher criticism than you would anybody else. Knowing that this is a new space for us, and the things that our companies are embarking on is major, right?
Talk that talk. Talk that
So
talk.
give us the same love as everybody else.
Mhm.
It's a learning experience for everybody. We just happen to take that leap of faith, and we taking those shots and bullets for everybody dealing with these things that we're dealing with to try to get in here and make a little area for us, create a little niche for us to be able to take advantage of some deals or whatnot. And that's pretty much all that we have. CrowdWallStreet.com is our platform. You guys can sign up and register. And then once everything get going, we probably can do something again.
No, we're definitely having you
where
guys
we
come
can,
back.
once we get that going or whatever, and do an event. Hopefully, once outside open up, we can do some live events. Me and TL did one in Miami, and we had a nice turnout, bigger than what we was expecting. So we can get some people live, and they can see the founders, meet the founders type joint, and we can get everybody coming in. And I think that could be something major. But I appreciate everybody who came on today. I appreciate me and T. I appreciate you guys for having us and allowing us to speak to the audience. If anybody got any questions, I guess they can reach out to you guys, and and we could just kind of go from there. But thank you,
with
thank you.
Project.
Yeah, thank you, guys. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Thank you to both of you, TL and Jamsky. Everybody put an exclamation point in there to give a warm round of applause to TL and Jamsky of CrowdWallStreet. And don't forget to go to their portal, crowdwallstreet.com, and sign up for newsletter, register within their system so that they can definitely let you know what's happening with them. We have 2 questions in here.
Okay.
What is considered an angel investor? Anonymous, we are angel investors now. You and I are angel investors. In fact, we have trademarked home of the everyday VC. VC stands for venture capitalists. We are everyday VCs. So Chris is also saying, can you guys touch on the fact that age does not matter? Just start investing. Age does not matter. Just start investing. 18 years old to have your own account. If you are not 18, or if you want to get your kids or grandkids to be a part of it, start a family bank, get an LLC registered, and you can invest that way through the 10K project. All righty then. Tawana, beautiful Tawana.
Jamsky said it best. There's no excuse, right? There's no excuse. No. I have blamed my mother and father long enough, right? I'm let them off the hook tonight. There's no excuse. It's as simple as that. And if you make this decision to embark on your wealth building journey tonight, I don't care who you do it with. I'm gonna be honest. I want you to join 10K, right? Mm-hmm. I want you to use CrowdWallStreet's platform when it becomes available. Yeah. But the truth is, I just want you to win. So
Mhm.
wherever you win at is fine with me, but
Mhm.
just do something. Let's stop making excuses and let's just start, right? Let's just do it. It's
That's
as
it.
simple as that.
Educate yourself before you go out throwing money.
Uh-huh.
But it's no excuses. The education is out here. 10K Project. You go on Google. Me and TL, we the same way. We don't care about going to our competitors. It's Republic out there, Start Engine, and WeFunder. Those, but just do it. We ain't gonna tell you all blacks. If you guys want to do that, those are the other companies out there that's deemed our competitors. But we will be in that top, situation.
And they're actually more than that. There, I look at the list every day. There are
Yeah, 66.
66 right now approved
Mhm.
portals. Now they're not all active, right? They don't
Nope.
all do equity crowdfunding. Some of them specialize in certain areas, but
Yeah.
there's a lot. There's a lot more than just the top 3 that we hear about.
Right, that we hear about.
So and we can do a session on that even and talk about it.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be honest with you.
That's got a competition
Wall
right
Street
now.
for me.
Yeah. Educate yourself and do it.
Don't treat crowdfunding like a slot machine though.
Right.
Please
Make
don't.
sure you get the investment. And I can tell y'all right now, man, so far since me and Jansky being on this journey, connecting and networking with people, and what the 10K Project has to offer, hands down. It's really hands down. It's something that, again, when we started, we seen the lack of education in the crowdfunding space, which is why when we started the company, we were trying to do it all because it's like nobody out there doing it. Nobody's educating our people. So when we met the 10K Project, that saved a lot of time because it is a lot. I'm quite sure it's a lot of work on Cherie and Tawana's behalf when it comes putting all this stuff together. Because even now, crowdfunding is still at its infancy stage. So there's a lot of changes that's going on every week, every month. And so to me, 10K Project, hands down, educational tools, what you guys are providing, by all means, do it. Sign up.
Right now, it's the time to get in. You guys,
$50
right now is like 5 years. 5 years down the road, right? It's one of those industries like how everybody's in trucking, but trucking was hot like 10 years ago. But now everybody, oh, I got a truck. If any and everybody can do it like that, then what does that tell you? So right now is the time to get in because this is going to be hot in the next 5 to 10 years. Right now, venture capital is the thing, but a lot of founders are going to realize like, dang, I went to 30 VCs and they want to invest in my company. What's next? So the sooner you get in the industry, right? You want to get in the industry in the early stages so that you can benefit later on down the road. Right. And now when everybody's talking about it, now you're a pioneer in the industry and they coming to you. Now we're the go-to in this industry for the black side of this. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, well, where's the black, education portal or black crowdfunding platform? And we already got that corner seamed up.
Yep,
You know what I'm saying? We
absolutely.
want to be the pioneer.
Everybody's going to know our names. Everybody's going to know our names. That is the
and
goal.
Share this, share family and friends. It's not over. It's all week, family and friends. Even 3 weeks from now, share it. Just share it, right?
Yes.
Share it. The sale though, the sale, 11:59 on Friday.
And I want to thank the people who have taken the leap. I see that we have some new members. So thank you for the people who have joined this evening. We have several people who asked, will this be on replay? Yes, I will wait for this to render and I will send it out for you tonight so that you can pass this on along with both of our websites to your family and friends and your network. Okay. Thank you, TL, Jamsky, Tawana, and most importantly to the 125, 130 people we had watching across all of our platforms. We appreciate you. And next week, everybody, we have something good again. So Monday, 6 p.m., we have a great guest next week.
And tomorrow.
Actually, 2 great guests next week.
And tomorrow's Tuesday. So it's Bet on Black Pitch Night.
Bet on Black Pitch tomorrow
Bet on Black Pitch Night. Tomorrow's founder is Hair Care.
And Gary, it's the10kproject.com. Gary, it's the10kproject.com. The10kproject.com. Okay, good.